Hey everyone, I have a book haul for you guys tonight. I'm going to try to make this quick. There's one that I'm going to talk about at the very end because apparently that's the one I talk about the most, so I want to get the others finished first. But real quick, I just wanted to tell y'all what I'm currently reading. I am currently reading Warleggin, which is book 4 in the Poldark series by Winston Graham. I am 222 pages in out of like 480 something, so I'm almost halfway, and I'm loving it because I love the show and I kind of know what happens because I have seen season 2. Sorry if you heard that, that was my dryer. I've seen season 2 many times, I'm just finished rewatching it now, but yes, so I'm very much enjoying this, and I'm hoping to continue on and finish the other books, at least through book 7, and finish rewatching season 3 before I start with season 4. And now on to the books. Most of these I got in the same Barnes & Noble trip. So first, not a book actually, is Barchester Chronicles, the 70s series with, as you can see, a very young Alan Rickman, and also Susan Hampshire, Nigel Hawthorne, Donald Pleasance. So yeah, I really like this show. This adapts the first 2 books in the Barsetshire series by Anthony Trollope, which is my favorite classic book series. And I really loved this TV adaptation when I got it from the library, and it was actually in Barnes & Noble on sale for like $11 from like $25, so I couldn't pass that up. And I'm excited because now I have all of the TV versions of the series that have been adapted, which sadly is just this one, and then the recent Dr. Thorne, which adapts Dr. Thorne, which is book 3. So I got that, and then the books that I got first, I could not resist Fall of Gondolin by J.R.R. Tolkien, edited by Christopher Tolkien. And this is officially, Christopher Tolkien has said, this is definitely the last book of his father's that he's going to edit and publish. He said that about Beren and Luthien, and then basically was like, oh wait, just kidding. Which, you know, you will not hear me complaining about another one. I'm very excited for this. And this, I'm debating whether to read, like, I need to obviously finish rereading Lord of the Rings first, but I'm debating whether to read this right after or read Silmarillion first. I think I'm going to read Silmarillion first and then read Beren and Luthien and Fall of Gondolin, because I think those two, I think Beren and Luthien is in Silmarillion and not Unfinished Tales. I think it's Children of Hurin that's in Unfinished Tales, I think. So I'm going to read Silmarillion and then Fall of Gondolin and then Beren and Luthien. So I will read you guys the inside of this one. It says, evil Morgoth rules over the vast military power from his fortress of Angband. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Deeply opposed to Morgoth is Ulmo, who is called Lord of the Waters. Central to this enmity of the gods is the city of Gondolin, beautiful but undiscoverable. It was built and peopled by Noldorin elves who, when they dwelled in Valinor, the land of the gods, rebelled against their rule and fled to Middle-earth. Morgoth seeks in vain to discover the marvelously hidden city, while the gods in Valinor largely refuse to intervene in support of Ulmo, who desires to protect it. Into the world comes Tuor, cousin of Turin. Guided unseen by Ulmo, Tuor, I hope I'm saying that right, journeys to Gondolin, where he becomes great. He is wedded to Idril, Turgon's daughter, and they have a son, Arendelle? But there will come a terrible ending when Morgoth, through a supreme act of treachery, will mount a devastating attack on the city with Balrog's dragons and numberless orcs. After the destruction, Tuor's son survives and lives into the next story, the tales of Arundel. I hope I'm saying that right. Which Tolkien never wrote, but which is sketched out in this book from other sources. Following Beren and Luthien, Christopher Tolkien has used the same history in sequence mode in the writing of The Fall of Gondolin. In the words of J.R.R. Tolkien, it was the first real story of this imaginary world, and together with Beren and Luthien and the Children of Húrin, it is one of the three great tales of the Elder Days. So I'm wondering if maybe I should read Silmarillion and then Unfinished Tales, and then read all three of these together, Fall of Gondolin, Children of Húrin, and Beren and Luthien. But anyway, yeah, very excited about this, and it is again illustrated by Alan Lee, and it is beautiful. Let me see if I can show you. Like, just there's an example. He is so talented and fantastic. So there's that. And my copy of Children of Húrin is actually not illustrated by Alan Lee, so I'm very tempted to get this edition of Children of Húrin just so I can have another one illustrated by Alan Lee. So next is We've Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. I have been putting off getting this for so long because I think it's going to terrify me, but I really, really want to read it, and it's perfect timing because it is October and Halloween, and the film is coming out relatively soon, I think, and I have been eyeing this gorgeous edition for years, so I will read you guys the inside of this. It says, my name is Mary Catherine Blackwood. I am 18 years old, and I live with my sister Constance. I have often thought that with any luck at all, I would have been born a werewolf, because the two middle fingers on both my hands are the same length, but I have had to be content with what I had. I dislike washing myself and dogs and noise. I like my sister Constance and Richard Plantagenet and Amanita phalloides, the death cup mushroom. I think it's supposed to be death cap, but anyway. Everyone else in my family is dead. You will be wondering about that sugar bowl. You'll be wondering about that sugar bowl, I imagine. Is it still in use, you're wondering? Has it been cleaned? You may very well ask, was it thoroughly washed? So, yeah, excited. And terrified to ever have sugar again. Just by that summary. Okay, so there's that. And then another one. I finally got Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. I have heard nothing but amazing things about this. Everyone loves it, and it sounds like I'm going to completely adore it. It says, witty, romantic, and irresistible from the first line to the last, The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue is the unforgettable escapade of Lord Henry Montague, a charming young scoundrel who fully expects to carouse his way through his grand tour. However, Monty's plan for one last hedonistic hurrah with his best friend and secret crush Percy quickly turns into a harrowing manhunt across 18th century Europe. Truly a novel that's meant to be savored and not to be missed. I'm so excited. I may actually go exchange this copy for a hardback because I thought my store didn't have any hardcovers, and it turns out I was just looking in the wrong place because when I got home, I looked online and they said they had a hardcovers in stock, so I might go back and exchange this. Next, probably the one in the bunch I am most excited for. This is The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stewart Churchand. For some odd reason, this was published in the UK as The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, but in the US, They're like, no, it's 7.5. And I don't know why. I'm very interested to understand why they would change it. But anyway, this sounds amazing, and I tried to win it on Goodreads before it was published, and that didn't happen. So I saw it, and I bought it. And can I just say, like, look, it's a map, and it's red, and just this cover. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Okay, I'm going to read you guys the inside of this. It says, "The rules of Blackheath. Evelyn Hardcastle will be murdered at 11 p.m. There are 8 days and 8 witnesses for you to inhabit. We will let you escape only once you tell us the name of the killer. Understand? Then let's begin. Evelyn Hardcastle will die every day until Aidan Bishop can identify her killer and break the cycle. But every time the day begins again, Aidan wakes up in the body of a different guest, and some of his hosts are more helpful than others. The most inventive debut of the year twists together a mystery of such unexpected creativity it will leave readers guessing until the very last page." Yeah, so I'm so excited. On the back, there's a blurb that says, "Agatha Christie meets Downton Abbey with a splash of red wine and Twin Peaks." What? Yes, I cannot wait for this. So very, very excited for that. And then I grabbed this in my library's book nook. This is the Robert Fagles translation. Fagles, yeah, translation of the Iliad and by Homer, I should say, as shown. And I have this edition of the Odyssey that I found in a used bookstore. So when I saw this, I could not pass it up. I think someone probably needed it for school and then didn't need it anymore, so just donated it. But wow, am I excited for this. And then, last but certainly not least, if I can squeeze it in here real quick, Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. This has been all over BookTube, so I'm not going to read you guys the inside, but I pre-ordered this, and Naomi Novik pretty much had me at Rumpelstiltskin retelling, and I've also heard this described as a Rumpelstiltskin gender bend, and oh my gosh, was I excited. I'm actually halfway through, but my audiobook had to be returned to the library before I could finish, so I'm actually going to put my name back on the hold list and then start over with the audio and the physical copy, because I just can't bring myself to try to read it without the audio now that I have listened to half the audiobook. So, but I am really liking this so far. I have a couple tiny issues with it, but not enough that I'm not really enjoying it. So I'll talk about those more when I finally finish it. And also with this, I was able to be sent a very shiny foil cover because Random House was doing this deal where if you sent them proof of your pre-order of the book, they would send you this nice shiny foil jacket for free. So that was great. Okay, so I think that's everything. I'm pretty sure. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of any of these books, if you have read any of them.